Okay guys, in today's video I'm going to go over the basic setup and programming of the IP-223. When you first initially power it up, it'll go through and show you its firmware version and IP address, but you don't have to worry about writing that down. If you just go ahead and let it boot all the way up and then come down and press line and intercom button, you'll see it'll give you the IP address that it has, 192.168.20.23 on this one. So once you have the IP address, you should be able to log on to its web connection here, and that would look like this. And you would go ahead and enter in its address up here. Depending on your web browser, it's probably going to warn you that it's a dangerous thing to do, and don't do it. But go ahead and do it anyway, because it's an HTTP address, not a secure one, so it's a little outdated, but go ahead and go into it that way. The default password or login username is admin, and there's no password, so you type in admin. If, however, you typed in admin and hit enter and it got kicked back out to username again, then you know that there's going to be a password on it. So you can't go any further at this point with a password on it. So you're kind of stuck. What you have to do, and there is no physical reset button or pad to short out or anything on the physical board. To reset the password, you have to use Hyperterminal and come in on the DB9, and there is a reset procedure. And if you pull up the user's manual on page 48 here, it gives you the little instructions on how to do it, to set up Hyperterminal. I'm going to just go ahead and do it for you real quick so you can see how it's done. And so I've pulled up a Hyperterminal here, and I'm going to do a new connection called IP-223. Give it this little icon here. So I'll go OK, and I'm going to use COM1, and I'm going to come up here and I want to set it for 19.2 N81 with no flow, and I'm going to go apply and go OK. Now I can come over here and let me hang up, and I'm going to go properties, and I'm going to go settings, and I just want to change this to ANSI-W. Just because I know you can look on the manual and see that's what they're using there. So I'll go OK on that one, and here, let me minimize this so it looks better. Okay, so now we're going to come up here, we're going to go ahead and connect to it, and we're all plugged in everything. So we're going to do capital S enter, and it says enter password for factory setup. So we'll go technobabble, enter, and now it's going to ask us a series of questions. So we're going to restore factory defaults. We'll go no. Reset admin pin. We'll go yes. Disable HTTP server. We'll go no, and no, and no. And then it's going to make you want to retype in the IP address again, or you could give it a new one if you wanted at this point, but we're going to go ahead and just keep it this way, and we'll give it the same mask, 255.255.0, and same gateway, 192.168.20.1. Oops, there we go. And now it's going to do the little saving to memory. It says you wish to reset the unit now, and we'll go yes. And it's resetting, and we'll let it come up, and you'll see it'll do its little spiel again. So let's let it reset, and we'll see it come up. But now the password should be removed from it. So here you can see this is what you would normally see after a successful boot up as you see this screen with this information. So that should be good to go there, so we can go ahead and hang up and get out of that. We won't need that anymore. Yes, why not? So we're out of that. Now let's go ahead and go back into our screen here and try this again. And we'll refresh, and we'll go admin and enter, and now we're in. So we successfully got in. So now we can go and look at the basic Ethernet setup. We can go into the account setup, change passwords, do all the things that you would normally do. We can see right here it's got a firmware version of 4.5, which is it's the second newest of the new. But anyway, this allows you to get in, and once you're in here, now you got access to all the screens, and you can do everything that you would normally want to do here. So, but I wanted to show you a different way of doing it, and that I learned. It was for the Telex Systems Manager here, and I think it's really cool, and it seems to be easier to do the changes with that one. So let me show you what that looks like, and how it's going to make us want to do a firmware upgrade first. So let me pull that up here, and you'll see what I'm talking about. So here, let me minimize this a little bit here so we can get a better view. So this is the Telex Systems Manager program, and I think it's really cool. If we come over here and click on this one right now, you'll see we get this error saying it's incompatible firmware, that we should upgrade it to 4.505 to do that. So we're going to go ahead and do that right now, so I can show you what that's like, and then after we upgrade it, we'll be able to look at everything that we would see on the web browser page through this program, and I'll show you what it looks like, and you might think it looks better too. So anyway, I want to come over here to Tools. I'll go Firmware Update. I want to come over here. I want to browse for my 4505, which is this one right here. So I'm going to open it up. And to get these, by the way, to get the Telex Systems Manager program, and to get the firmware files, these image files, you'll need to go to the Telex website, and I'll put a link in the description below about that website so you can see what it's like. But anyway, once we got it, we selected the file, we'll come over here, we'll select our destination, which is that one. We got the right, no password, and we're ready to write the firmware. And here we go. And you see it's got a little progress bar. Device is writing the flash, and we're definitely good to go here. If there was any problems, it'd give you all kinds of other errors by now. But it looks like we're going to be able to update the firmware, and then once it's updated, I'll go and show you how we can now see all the screens that we saw in the web browser now on this program. And I just think they have it better organized on this program, and not distracting you with things that don't apply to your setup. You'll see what I mean in just a second here. So anyway, it's firmware update successful. The device will now restart. Fantastic. And while it's booting back up, we'll close here, and we'll close here. And I'll wait for it to do its little reset here, and then it always makes a little audible click. You can tell it's going to be reset because it does a click first, and then you'll see the message come up on the display showing you its firmware and stuff. And there it is. It's rebooting back up. So I'll come back up here and I'll go refresh. And now it sees it again, but this time it's giving it a green light. So let's come over here, and now it's giving us a login screen. So we'll go admin, and we'll go refund device. And there, now we're in. And here's going to be all the same information that was on the web page, but now in this tab format here with the folder tabs. So, and here's all the gain settings, multicast, per line setup. And this is what I really like about the per line setup, is because depending on what mode you select, it goes ahead and loads in the relevant functions that will need to be programmed, configured, and takes away those ones that don't apply. Whereas on the other screen, they just kind of all linger there and maybe grayed out or not, or you just don't know. But once you can select your mode here, you can come over here to configure, and now you can go in and do all those settings and be sure that they are actually applying to your particular mode that you got in there. So I think this is a real improvement compared to the other one. So that's just my opinion. But anyway, yeah, Telex Systems Manager is a choice, and of course you got the good old standby reliable here, Mr. Webpage. So now, as far as getting into the theory about multicast here and how these things work, I would recommend using the help manuals that they have on Telex at their website. They got a lot of kind of like IP-223 basics, and I'd go through there if you're not familiar with how basic radio over internet protocol works. But anyway, you can see now that I've gotten my increased firmware status here on my box here, and it's all ready to go. So all right, well, I hope that helps you guys out and gets you started on these. They're real easy after you've done a couple of them, and they quickly lose their complexity. So all right, we'll talk to you soon.